So yeah, we'll kick it off and get started. My name is Kelly Tolliday. I'm the managing director here at Travel Kinship. We're a global representation company managing amazing boutique luxury DMCs from around the world. And one of our amazing DMCs is Portugal by TRAVELTAILORS. We have Paula Alves here of Portugal by TRAVELTAILORS. And as you can guess from the name, they specialize in all things travel to Portugal. We are really excited for today's webinar because we're diving deep into a region of Portugal that often gets overlooked, even though there is so much which you're going to learn. There's so much for your clients to explore and really get an amazing, authentic taste of Portuguese culture and kind of step away from some of the more crowded spots around the country and really get a sense of that slow, quiet luxury that you can feel and experience throughout Central Portugal. So I'm not going to spend too much time sharing about it, because Paula is going to spend the next 30 to 40 minutes sharing her expertise. But yeah, for those that are listening in and just tuning in, we are Travel Kinship. We're a representation company. And if you need anything in terms of support with your trips from a DMC from around the world, please reach out to us. We represent really unique, really like awesome boutique luxury DMCs. And I'm really excited for you guys to learn more about Portugal today from Paula. So I will mute myself, and just a quick one on housekeeping. For those that just joined, the chat is not working, so please drop any questions throughout the webinar that you have. Drop it in the questions box, and we'll have time at the very end of the webinar to go over your questions, and Paula will answer for you. All right, take it away, Paula.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Kelly, for the intro. And we definitely are going to dive into the center of Portugal, which is one of the largest regions of Portugal. And a bit of it is overlooked, and I'll explain more later. Just as a side note, if any of you follow us on Instagram, Portugal by TRAVELTAILORS, if you don't, you should. You can meet our new team member. She's here in my office with me, so hopefully she's nice and quiet while we're doing our webinar, but I'll let you see her at the end of this webinar. And we're going to kick it off with this webinar in the center of Portugal. So let me just click here. Okay, here we go. So if anyone has watched any of our webinars, they know that I grew up in the United States, and my love for Portugal is very much related to the traditions and culture of the country. And that's what we love to showcase. So here in the center of Portugal, we want travelers to feel that they're in a distinguished place, that they feel they really visited something different. And we're going to kick it off with the map so that you understand the logistics. Your clients should, if they can, start in Porto in the north. And I'm going to see if you can see here with my mouse. So yes, I think you can. Here we're starting, basically the green balls are the hotels, and the white balls are just, it's not all of the experiences, it's just a few for you to get a sense of space. And we're starting in Porto and ending in Lisbon so that you understand the logistics. This map will show during the presentation so that you have an understanding of space, region, and area. And now, when we say overlooked, we're talking about this interior center of the country. Mid is a bit overlooked because the coast is usually part of the best of Portugal itineraries. Many start in Lisbon or Porto, sorry, it was the other way around. Start in Lisbon and go to Porto, or start in Porto and go to Lisbon, and they will probably stop in Coimbra or other towns along this coast. So that central part is pretty known by most people. It's the rest that is not. So we're going to go through a little bit, and we're starting with Aveiro. So you're going to receive all of this information, and this PDF will really help for you to understand everything afterwards. In Aveiro, one lovely experience is the Muliceiro boat cruise ride. The name of the boat is a Muliceiro. It's similar to a gondola. These boats were used to get seaweed and to transport the seaweed, and now they're basically used for tourism purposes. And it's a beautiful ride along the canals through the city. The city is a very beautiful city. There's been a lot of renovation in Aveiro, and it's really, really gorgeous right now. Another lovely experience is the oyster experience. So clients can For example, go on a muliceiro and stop to taste some oysters, or just go to the oyster farm, for example, and taste some oysters, or add this to other seafood options or fish options at a lovely restaurant. It can mix and match. And a bike ride along Costa Nova. This is an area that is not far from the city center of Aveiro. It's pretty close by, and these beautiful homes along the waterfront and along the main road are very, very typical of this region. So a lovely bike ride along the coast, going to Costa Nova, maybe stopping and enjoying oysters. Again, there's a mix and match that can be done. And one of the properties we're considering is the beautiful Palacete Valdemoro in central Aveiro. So this is a great option. And you'll find this along the presentation that I'm showing you, that the hotels chosen, as much as possible, are located in the center of towns, either a small town, a bigger city. But these are, when we say bigger city, it's bigger for the Portuguese standard. These are very, very tiny cities. Aveiro feels like a town if we're thinking of a city like New York or Boston. So your clients can stay in this beautiful palace type house in the center of Aveiro, and they can walk around, they can see the town on their own, they can go with a guide, they can enjoy restaurants, shops. It really is an immersive experience in a small location, and obviously something they will truly enjoy. Now, we're leaving Aveiro and we're going inland. So from Aveiro to the Centaur Hotel, the next hotel, it's the Valverde Centaur. It's about an hour drive. Now clients can go from Aveiro to the wine estate that you see up here, the Dow Wine, directly, and then go to the hotel. Or they can go to the hotel and then do day trips. It really depends. And you have timings of driving. All of these visits are very easy as day trips. We're talking about 40 minutes, an hour. It's very, very simple and very enjoyable. And then they just go back to the hotels and locate there. So now we go to Centaur. Centaur is a beautiful, tiny little town. There's really not much there. You have the gorgeous hotel, you have a few homes, you have these beautiful medieval style walkways and houses, and you have this gorgeous building, the palace home here as well, where they can do wine tasting and they can visit the beautiful historical garden in this location, in this palace. So it's a really lovely visit, and it's something different that they can enjoy in a more secluded, calmer area of Portugal, much less touristic. And they can also do the Dow wine tasting. There's a lovely wine estate to visit and to taste the wines, and clients can enjoy an afternoon, a lunch on the property, because they also have a restaurant. So this will really add to the experience of the region. And the Dow wine is another regional wine of Portugal. You have in the north the green wine, and then you have the Douro, which most people have heard of, the Douro Valley. You have the Douro wines, and you have the Alentejo wines in the south, and also you have the Lisbon wines. There's a lot of, also the Algarve. There's a lot of wines in Portugal. And this is another one for clients to understand if they're very much into wine and gastronomy. And here we've added this lovely little location. This isn't even a town, it's just a beautiful spot in Portugal called Foz d'Água, and it feels like a hobbit village. It's really adorable. You have the cute little bridge, the homes, and this is a really, really nice visit for clients to enjoy, to have some hikes in nature, and it's very unique. It's not something that's expected. It's totally different. And the property is the gorgeous Central Valverde Hotel and Spa. It's a Relais Chateau property. It's absolutely beautiful, a 17th century manor house. So you have all of that luxury, you have all of that comfort in a really off the beaten track location. And this is the unexpected. Your clients can have an amazing trip without feeling at all touristic and being in a huge city with a lot of hustle and bustle. They feel relaxed and on vacation. And now we're moving along. So from Centaur, we're going further inland. And the other property we're going to is Casa de São Lourenço in the area called Manteigas. So this is close to Serra da Estrela, the largest mountain on mainland Portugal. The largest is on the Azores Islands in Pico, but this one is mainland. So this is where it snows in Portugal in winter, also in the northern regions. So up here, it'll snow as well. But this is the main area where it snows in our winter months. And again, we're talking about an hour drive. So this is very quick. And there's quite a few things to enjoy, but it's all based around nature in this region. And then I'll explain why this area, Monsanto, this town, in a little bit. So here we are in one of the lovely experiences, which is the experience of the art of burrell. What is burrell? Burrell is a fabric that was created from the wool of the Bordeleiro sheep. So these sheep are original to Portugal, and the shepherds would use their wool to make capes that they would have to save them from the cold and the rain. They're waterproof, they're very warm. And I'm actually wearing this little jacket because this is burrell. And you can see it is very fashionable and used nowadays in a trendy, more fashionable way. It's used for blankets, for shoes, for decoration in the homes. And your clients can visit the factory and they can understand the different versatility of the burrell fashion and accessories and everything it's used for. And this is very close to the hotel. There's a lot of hikes in the area, and this is just outside of the hotel. Clients can enjoy different hiking options with a local guide or biking, whatever it is they prefer, if walking or biking. And you have so much nature and so much beauty. And you can consider this off season because the gorgeous fall colors are very much worth it. And why Monsanto? So the town that's further off is called Monsanto. And this town is very, very amazing and unique. And it's so amazing and unique, it was used for the settings for one of the Game of Thrones to represent Dragonstone. So you can see how very particular this is. You have huge boulders and houses being built coming out of these boulders. It's just something that has to be seen. And this town is about an hour and a half from the property, from the hotel, but very much worth it. So if your clients want something different, this is totally what they should do. And here we have the property. Again, a Relais Chateau property. So you can see we're in the center of Portugal and we have properties that are SLH, Relais Chateau, very, very luxurious, very comforting. This property has the most gorgeous views from the terraces. I stayed in this room when I was at the property, and it is breathtaking to just wake up in the morning and have all of that nature surrounding you and these beautiful mountains and the clean air, an amazing restaurant and spa. And we're leaving the Manteigas region and we're going off towards getting closer to the coast. So clients can go either from the hotel or from Monsanto. Then this is all of the logistics we have to do organizing the trip. They can choose to, it's the same amount of driving. So they can choose to do a day trip and just move on to the next hotel or whatever it is they prefer. So they're going to Palácio de Lousã in Coimbra. Again, a property that is a palace home in a center of a tiny little town. So it's that feeling of I just walk outside and I have a coffee shop or a cute little restaurant, cute little shop, whatever it is that I want, it's right there. And you have the schist villages close by and other experiences very close by, which we'll see. So Coimbra. Coimbra is very close to my heart. If any of you have ever met with me, you know that I met my husband in Coimbra. My daughter was born in Coimbra. I went to the university in Coimbra when I moved back from the United States to study economics, and this is really a special place. This picture was taken by me of this structure, this setup that is a miniature presentation of the university building. So these are the main buildings that date back to the 12th century, which is pretty amazing. And clients will visit this with a guide when they visit Coimbra. Usually this is the main visit. The hour and a half is spent in this area. And they have the gorgeous Joanina Library, which is absolutely breathtaking. It is a unique, beautiful interior decoration with gilded walls and books that date back centuries. So very, very much worth it. And off we go to the schist villages. So these schist villages, they are everywhere. And the first page of this presentation, it has a picture of one of the schist villages. So it's a stone houses in the mountains. Right now, most of them are maintained because of tourism, even our internal tourism in Portugal. Most people love to go to these villages because they're so remote that many people don't actually live there. Some of them, yes, you have a lot of people living there, but other smaller ones, not so much. Or you have local bed and breakfasts, and these are really beautiful to do a jeep tour, do some biking, and very easy to get to from that property to visit. And also a farm experience that can be done in one of the schist villages, not too far off from the hotel. Um, Clients can learn how to milk a goat and make fresh cheese and make bread in a wood oven and just enjoy these delicacies at the end of the day after they've had the experience. And this is an older picture when I did this with my kids. My daughter there in the picture is really having the time of her life. Right now, she's a veterinarian of goats and cows. So I don't know if this pushed her along the way. She always loved animals, but she's totally into and wants to have her own goats and sheep one day very soon. And we're off to the Lausanne Palace. This is really a lovely property. They have the main building, and then they have a newer building with added rooms. So a new building that was added on to the palace. So this was a Viscountess residence, and they have e-bikes on property. Clients can take the e-bike and ride up to a cute little castle that is about a 30-minute ride. And then there's these natural pools made with river water. So all of it is pretty exciting. And again, very much off the beaten track, not touristic at all. And your clients will love this if they're into this type of experience. And we're leaving the Lausanne Palace. We can leave the Lausanne Palace and go to Coimbra and then come down, or we can do Coimbra as a day trip, whatever it may be. It might make more sense to leave the palace and go to Coimbra and then come down. The Luge Houses is the next property. It is located in Fatima, which is the religious sanctuary of Portugal that most people know about. And then we have other areas of visiting very close by to the Luge Houses and many experiences to enjoy, all around 30 minutes. So the gorgeous Batalha Monastery, this is beyond unique, this monastery. So very much worth visiting, preferably with a guide so that clients can understand everything that's related to the story of Portugal. And a pottery experience. So your clients can enjoy making pottery if this is something that they would love to experience and haven't had the chance to do. It's very popular in Portugal. They can make a piece, it can be cooked, it can be delivered to them or sent to their home. This is done in many areas of Portugal, but this gentleman that we work with, one of our partners, he is really an easy teacher. He makes everyone feel super comfortable, and your clients will learn how to make a piece in the moment and really feel, wow, this is amazing. I've done this on my own. And then we have Fatima. So Fatima is the religious sanctuary of Portugal, as I just mentioned. It doesn't have to be something that clients need to be religious to go to, because, I mean, when clients visit Asia, they usually visit numerous religious locations. So this is something that is very much worth visiting. It's very spiritual, it's very beautiful, and your clients can enjoy this with a guide or simply on their own. Of course, if they want to, we normally don't recommend it unless it's asked for, but it's very much worth it. And the property Luge Houses is totally worth it. Even if clients don't go and visit the sanctuary, most of them do when they stay in Luge Houses. If it's their choice of place while going through the center coast of Portugal, this property was built to resemble a small town of Portugal. So when you're there on property, you will see that the houses, they have a different style of architecture to represent the class, the status, let's say, of the family. So they have the outside of the windows, the framing on the windows and the doors will represent the lower or higher status of the family. They have, the pool is lifted so that it resembles the places where people used to wash clothes or water to water the gardens or feed the drink, provide drink to the animals. It really is a unique place. And another special thing they have on this property is the spa is in an underground cave. So it's something that they discovered when they were renovating the building and doing all of that. They discovered this underground cave, and this is where they located their massage area, which is really, really fantastic. It's amazing, filled with candles, super relaxing. So it's a really spiritual place. They have some farm animals as well, and it's actually walkable to the sanctuary of Fatima. And when we leave Fatima and come down to the next hotel, which is Areias do Seixo, we can stop along the coast and visit other areas. Actually, the visit to Batalha, the monastery, can be done after leaving along the way, or visiting Nazaré, having a music experience. Let's go and see what we can do. So this music experience, we work with these wonderful gentlemen. They are amazing singers, and it's totally worth it. Believe me, we've had them come to different areas of the country to surprise clients or to make an event really special for clients. But along this area of Portugal, your clients can just have a gorgeous experience with these singers. So very, very much worth it. A lunch with them, just listening to them sing. And surfing. Portugal's known for surfing, and it's known for the huge waves of Nazaré. Not the only place that it's surfable. That place is actually for those who really know what they're doing. But Santa Cruz is one of the surfing areas that is very relaxing and very close to the Areias do Seixo property, and easy for those who don't know so much and are not so professional. And we have the Caldas de Rainha market, which is one of the most unique, beautiful markets in all of Portugal. It's an outdoor market. It's done every day, except Sundays and Mondays, which normally is the case for most markets. And it really is worth it to see. This is a unique market where the locals go. So this is not made for tourists at all. It's a beautiful, huge market where all of the locals will do their shopping, and very much worth the visit. And we're here at the Areias do Seixo property. It's a gorgeous hotel, very eco-sustainable. It's the main building and restaurant are adults only, well, over 16. And then they have these apartment style villas on the opposite side of the main building of the street, where families with any age of children can go to, and they can have the chefs go to the villas and use the barbecues, make food there, deliver breakfast, whatever it is that your clients need, they will do in the villas. And the villas end up being very family friendly in that way. And we've gone through all of our information for our route. And I have here a few questions that we consider to be probably something that would help you understand a few things, unless, and I'll let Kelly tell me, if we have questions in the question box.
I think it would be great if we could go through these questions now, and then we'll give it a little bit of time at the end. And just, I mentioned in the chat, but if anyone has additional questions for Paula to answer at the end, then feel free to pop them into the questions box. But for right now, let's go through your FAQ questions. And Philip just mentioned, will you share the slides? And yes, you'll absolutely get the recording as well as the slides. Yeah,
for sure. We'll definitely share the slides. So I did mention a few things that are probably here in the questions. So is this friendly location and route? Yes, it is absolutely family friendly. All of these areas and all of this route are totally family friendly. The biking, the walking, everything can be brought up a notch or brought down to the level of the clients and to the ages of any child. Can you swap hotels for private villas for groups or multi-gen? Of course we can, as long as we have them nearby. It's very easy to swap the hotels, and most of these areas will have villa options in the region. How many nights? So basically, this is not an itinerary that needs to be done the way it was presented. It was presented so that you could understand the dimension of what is possible in this center, and even more is possible, but just for you to understand what is possible. And there are 6 hotels in that first map. So if we were to consider this as a full itinerary, I would say at least 2 nights per hotel. That gives us 12 nights. But mind you, these hotels are very close to each other. Many of them, it's 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2-hour drive. So your clients can stay at one of the options in the route and don't need to stay at all, for example, if they have less time, or they can choose, okay, I want to go further into the interior, but that's it. I don't want to do all the rest. It really is all a matter of what they prefer and what they're looking for. What are the biggest logistical considerations or watch outs in this region to be aware of when planning? There really isn't anything major. I would say that most people think of just doing along the coast from Lisbon to Porto and stop along the drive as a transfer from one city to the next. And honestly, that's going to be really quick because along that coast from Lisbon, there's so much to see. You have Óbidos, Alcobaça, Batalha, Nazaré, Coimbra, Aveiro, just 6, and I haven't mentioned everything along that coast, and that's impossible. So clients have to choose one thing. Most of the time they choose Coimbra. Now, if they sleep at least along the coast in one of these options, they can do that and maybe a little bit more. If they stay in luge houses, they can visit something until they get to luge houses, and then from luge houses visit Coimbra and Aveiro, let's say. Or they can go into the interior, but you always have to remember the distances, like the Monsanto town that we mentioned there. It's further inland. There needs to be time to actually visit, and there's more towns near the Monsanto route. There's Sotélia, there's many more. And all of these are very much worth visiting when people are looking for the unique towns. How do I feel that I've been in Portugal? What is it that I can see that's different? And for sure, these are the options, but they need the time. Are these pairings what you'd recommend for a first-time visitor, to Portugal, or repeat travelers? In all honesty, I would probably say repeat travelers because most people, and only because most people want to do your basic, best of, and want to do the cities. And on purpose, this webinar is not talking about Lisbon or Porto, which of course can be added when they arrive or when they depart, if they do, as I mentioned, come in through Porto and out of Lisbon, or vice versa, because this can all be swapped. But it can be a first time visit because we have people that don't want to be in the cities, that really want to, okay, I can do a day tour in Lisbon just to get a bearing of what it's like or not. And I just want to head out, and I want to go and discover, what is really off the beaten track and different in the country. So it really depends on your clients. And if we should think of any shoulder season, off season trade-offs when advising clients. Honestly, I think it's great to think of spring and fall anytime when visiting Portugal anywhere, for sure, because you get less confusion and you might get better pricing. Now, for experiences, the pricing doesn't really change. The hotels are the ones that have dynamic rates. For this central part of the country, you don't have that much of an issue with the dynamic rates, but it will always help to be a little bit off peak if we're thinking of being budget conscious, let's say. And I would say the best is really thinking of the weather, because the center interior of Portugal will be rather cold in the winter months, but it's wonderful in the fall and in the spring. So well worth thinking of. And I'm going to ask Kelly if there are any more questions just before I go off to the next slide.
Yes. Hi. Sorry, it took a little while. Philip had asked, is helicopter transportation available at some of these hotels?
Okay, well, we've done helicopter transfers from the Douro Valley to the Alentejo and to other areas of the country. And we actually haven't done helicopter transfers from these particular locations, but it's a matter of checking with them if they're available from these hotels, from, for example, the Valverde Santad and from the Burel House, if your clients would want to do a helicopter transfer to one of the main cities. And honestly, I believe there should be a way to do this, but I would have to definitely check. Sorry that I don't know that right off the top of my head. It's not something that's typically asked, and I will add, because many people that are used to going on helicopters, they usually ask for double engine helicopters, and that's not something we have in Portugal. We have single engine. We have one double engine that's privately owned, and that turns off some people with helicopters. So this is something that, again, I'll talk in the next slide about how transparent and honest we are. We like to be very upfront about everything. Your sound is off, Kelly, sorry.
Thank you for that. Verna asked, if clients don't want to drive on their own for a route like this, would you recommend a private driver or a train?
Oh, of course, a private driver, not a train. So definitely a private driver. The train can be used along the coast from Lisbon to Porto. To the interior, I would honestly say a private driver for sure. And of course, yes, that's mostly what we do. We always prefer that clients go with a private driver so they don't have to be worried about navigating. And I mean, they're on vacation, they need to relax.
Awesome. Great.
Okay,
That's it for now.
excellent. So basically, how we work, we provide you personalized service. We'll get on a call with you and your clients, with you to understand everything and what is being requested for this trip. If necessary, with your clients to explain everything to them. After doing a draft itinerary, we can get on a call. We like to go up to 3 revisions of the itinerary before doing a 4th version. We would ask you for a commitment. So in that case, a deposit would be required. So we trust things are moving forward and we're all on the same page. We only work with 4 and 5-star properties only because 3 stars really isn't necessary in Portugal. And we do handle self-drive. So the question before is, the first thing is always, private driver when clients have the budget. But for sure, Portugal is a very easy country to navigate and very easy to self-drive in. So we handle that, and we don't have a minimum spend per day. What we request is that you tell us your client's expectation of budget, and we will do our very best to meet that expectation. Without that knowledge, it's very hard, and we could be, going off the wall, and we're ending up wasting both of our times. So it's really important to have a knowledge of at least a ballpark figure of their budget, if they're your clients for a while, where they've traveled to, what they normally spend, how they normally like to do things. And if you request a consulting fee, normally that's a really good sign for us that your client is going to do something with you, and most likely this will move forward. Just as an idea, a 7-night trip, 4 stars, will be around the 12K to 13K euros net, and a 5-star will be around the 15K to 18K euros net. So this is just a ballpark for you to understand. It's not, your suite category rooms or any presidential suite category rooms. It's a very nice 5-star or a very nice 4-star, and a tranquil itinerary. Not every single day with a private guide or the same guide the whole time. All of that has to be balanced out. But this is just for you to get an idea. And we have there the email to send all of the requests. So Portugal@travel-tailors.com. And the last slide. It needed a little bit of time to load. Sorry. So there's something for everyone, and these are pictures of other experiences that can be enjoyed in this central region of the country. There's much, much to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paula. I'm so excited for everyone that's listening to take something away from this and be able to share with their clients and get people to experience the interior of Portugal as well. There was one question, or I guess there was more of a statement from Cece, who said that she absolutely loves Fatima. I felt so safe the entire time. And that brought up something for me in terms of just general safety in these more interior, maybe less touristic destinations. What would be your take on let's say clients walking around in the villages by themselves at night, or like any sort of
Oh,
safety
absolutely.
procedures?
In any of these towns in the interior of the country, they are the safest thing you can imagine, in all honesty. Any woman alone, it really is really super, super safe and super tranquil.
That's awesome. Yeah, especially with the rise of solo female travel these days as well.
Yes,
Portugal is a great
yes, for
location for
sure.
that.
Yes, when I was
Awesome.
in the Lausanne Palace Hotel during a fam trip, I have a friend that actually has an apartment in the town, and so she wanted to meet me, and I went off from the hotel at night by myself, no problem at all. I mean, not even there's no doubt in our mind that it's perfectly safe.
Amazing. All right, well, we'll leave the next couple minutes here. If anyone has additional questions to add to the questions box, we'll leave the next minute or so here for those to add questions.
Yes, please.
We'll see. And for those that are still logged in, we will send the video recording, the slides to you within the next day. So you'll have access to that, as well as Paula's email, her sales team's email, so that when you have requests come through for Portugal, you're able to reach out to them. Of course, you can always include me in that email as well, kelly@travelkinship.com, so we can make sure, oh, we have a doggy in the picture.
That was our new
That's why
team member. And
that's why you stay to the end of webinars, so you can see the surprises at the end.
exactly. So she's super
Oh
well
my
behaved.
gosh.
She's just sleeping here
Oh,
on her own.
how cute. Oh my gosh, what's her name?
Benyati.
Oh, very sweet. Well, it doesn't seem like we have any additional questions. So if those
Okay.
listening, if a question pops up, feel free to email Paula directly, or you can email us as well. And like we mentioned, someone just said thank you for the information.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll send all the information after this. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for
Okay.
joining.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty.